The Eagles are your NFC East champions. Was there ever any doubt? No, not at all. We got lots on tap on this Overreaction Monday. The Eagles, the champs, play or rest their starters. The Sixers, playing pretty good basketball right now. The Phillies making questionable decisions. And the Flyers, well, an interesting off the ice conversation with them. Trending in the AM, we're live taking your thoughts and opinions on everything happening in the world of sports in 30 seconds. While you're down there, make sure oh, shoot, we got a live mic. I better be careful what I say. Welcome to Trending in the AM, guys, right here on the STT Sports Network. Please, wherever you're watching live or on replay, hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page. A mere 66 away from my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Guys, before you drop your comments, before you have anything, hit those buttons, please. I greatly appreciate it. I'm Phil Stiefel. It is free to support local content creators with clicks. Their growth is supported with those clicks, so please do it. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Christmas week. We are a couple days from Christmas, guys. And we got lots to talk about. Lots happening in the Philadelphia sports world, so we are going to cover it all. But please like, share, subscribe. Flip, here come the Sixers. See, you had to do that twice, that joke. I see what you did there. Good morning, Adam. How you doing? Eagles back-to-back division champions and back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Hurts and Barkley are elite. Yes, look at that. I love the positivity on this Monday morning. Is it a victory Monday? I mean, I know it was a victory Sunday. It doesn't count victory Monday still. I don't know. We are your NFC East champions as the Eagles beat the Commanders 29-18 on that rare Saturday evening, 5 p.m. start time. And pretty much took care of business in a pretty easy way on Sunday or on Saturday. I don't think the game was ever in question. Now, there are some questions to come out of the game, but in theory, the Eagles took care of business. They got the job done. They are back to the playoffs this year. The question will remain whether we fight for playoff positioning, seeding, and stuff like that, or rest our guys. The poll question of the day today: should the Eagles rest Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter the next 2 weeks with the playoff spot locked up? Yes, no, just rest them week 18 and let them play week 17 is your poll question of the day. And I think it's a really intriguing question. Cowboys still suck? Yeah, of course they do. I mean, all those passing yards and offensive yards, meaningless. I think there's a very interesting conversation coming out of the victory on Saturday of what you do with your starters, what you do with your team as you get prepared to march into the playoffs here. You are guaranteed with the 3-seat, 1 home playoff game. You have a chance to get the 2-seat and 2 home playoff games. You also have the chance of falling back to 4 if Carolina loses or wins out and you lose out. You have a chance to fall back to the 4-seat, still giving yourself 1 playoff game. Okay? The question is, what do you do with your players? Most specifically, your 2 studs who have been out for a few weeks and been banged up a majority of the year in Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter, and do you play them? You also have to worry about Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean, obviously had a hamstring injury on Saturday night. You got to be very cautious there, very careful there. Most reports say it's not a serious injury, but it is something to monitor. What do you want this Eagles team to look like come the playoffs? How healthy do you want to get them? Do you trust that the preparation in the week will give them enough work? Because I know everyone's going to say, got to knock the rust off of Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson. Play them a half here or a game there, and that's it. I have faith in the process the in-week process, that those guys will be ready to go week 1 of the playoffs. We've won without those guys. We actually look better without some of those guys as they get healthy. I say let them play against the Bills, then rest week 18. I'm definitely resting everybody week 18, no matter what. I'm not going to let Dan Quinn and his comments of basically they're going to be headhunting Washington in week 18. I'm not putting any of my guys at risk week 18. But do you push it week 17 against the Bills? Do you? I think rest is way more important, especially with Lane. Anybody that's saying that Lane Johnson needs to knock the rust off for missing 3 games, it's crazy. Lane Johnson's a first ballot Hall of Famer, arguably the best right tackle in all of football history, definitely in Eagles history. You don't need to risk it. The guy's been banged up all year. He's pushing 45 years old, like literally. He can literally suit up and be ready to go like that. You rest him. You get him 100%, not 95%. Being healthy and rested is way more important for his 3rd or 4th seed. Way more important than his 2nd, 3rd, or 4th seed. 100%. The biggest issue with this Eagles team this entire season, offensively and defensively speaking, every weakness that this team has had, every flaw that they have shown this season has been directly linked to the injuries on the offensive line, to the injuries on the defensive line, injuries in the secondary. Injuries have been what's hampered this team from looking like the elite monster of last year. So you get healthy, and then you get to the playoffs. It's so important. What's up, Soldier Steve? Lane and Carter should rest both weeks. Play everyone else versus Buffalo and rest week 18. This is kind of how I'm looking at it, too. Steve, I'm not playing those 2 guys, and I'm not playing Kobe Dean either. Not playing the injured players at all. Okay? Now, I got to see what the schedule is and what the timing of these games is. You know, if there's any games that happen before the Eagles play the Bills that kind of just affects that seeding outcome, maybe I rest guys more. But I am not putting anybody at risk that is even the slightest bit hurt. Not doing it. Jordan Love got rocked. Hopefully he is okay. Don't want anyone to get hurt. Did Jordan Love get rocked? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was watching that. I can't believe they didn't rule him out immediately. Like the look on his face when he was laying on his back on the ground after he got concussed. Like, why did that have to be ruled questionable? He was definitely not coming back in that game. Dan Quinn is a douchebag. We got to get Elliott right. We got to talk a lot about Jake Elliott today and this week for sure. Dan Quinn, a-hole, for basically saying what he said. Are you just asking if Jake Elliott? We do have a Jake Elliott. Obviously, he missed 2, unofficially 3, more field goals on Saturday night. The question is, what do you do? Do you bring somebody else in to work out this week? Do you have more confidence in a cold kicker off the street versus your kicker who is struggling mightily the last 4 or 5 weeks, but has made some of the most clutch kicks in Eagles history? The guy's kicked in 3 Super Bowls, not 2, 3. He's one of the few holdovers from the 2017 championship team. Do you do that? Do you eat that money knowing he's the 2nd highest paid kicker? To me, it makes more sense to try to just ride it out with Jake Elliott. Look at teams with major injuries ruining their seasons. That could be the difference between one and done versus Super Bowl run. Absolutely. Get healthy. Get right. Who cares about playoff seeding? This team can win on the road just fine. Kevin Patullo's calling plays. Kevin Patullo's looked good. Kevin Patullo has looked better. I'll even say, going back to the Chargers game, Kevin Patullo looked good, and the offense looked improved. Good morning, Duck. How you doing? Just watching today, still in D.C. Unacceptable. I need 20 comments from you, Duck. Washington's head coach talking shit about trying to get revenge on the Eagles for going for 2, and the game, be careful, Washington. You might be swinging a stick at the wrong Hornets' nest. So here's the thing, Rick. I get it. I agree. What he said was wrong and stupid, but the Washington's got nothing to lose. Washington's not playing for anything. I get it. You don't let them bully you like that, but you got the playoffs in front of you. Be the bigger man in this situation. Be like, yo, swing and miss. We're playing next week. You're not. Don't let any players, even the backups, risk getting suspended for a playoff game for getting involved. And Tyler Steen, getting involved in a brawl there. While it's not all on him, we need to be smart. We need to be smart these next 2 weeks, health-wise, fight-wise, everything-wise. What's up, Bruce? Good morning. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Elliott says he's not hurt, but Howie is scouting his replacement for next season, maybe even this season. The kicking game is way too important in the playoff time. But that's my question. I agree with everything you say here. He says he's not hurt. He says it's not mental. It's just a bad stretch for him. That's what he said. And yes, Howie is definitely going to be looking at that because, there's salary cap numbers. And he's the second highest paid kicker. But would you trust Jake Elliott figuring it out more than getting a cold kicker off the street? A guy that hasn't kicked this year. I see everybody saying Justin Tucker. Dude hasn't kicked a football in over a year. Is that a better opportunity than a guy that we've seen kick in 3 Super Bowls? I look at the experience level on Jake Elliott and the success he's had, and I'd rather them just ride it out in that scenario. The whole Jake Elliott thing is just, I don't know what to make of it. The fact that our biggest conversation after clinching the NFC East is either to play or rest our starters and what to do with kicker tells us that this Eagles team is a lot better shape than most fans are willing to admit, and most non-Eagles fans are definitely willing to admit. Phil, do you feel if we win the last 2 games, we should have a second home playoff game if we win the first? Look, we not only do we have to win the last 2 games, you got to hope the Bears lose their last 2 games too. And they got tough games, the Bears. 49ers and Detroit. Detroit might be out of it by then. So you got to take that into account too. The Bears will be fighting for the 2 seed. The Lions might be hanging their cleats up for the season. I don't know. I don't think the difference between the 3 seat and the 2 seat is big enough for me to worry about it. Especially thinking that my confidence in the Bears with Caleb Williams in the playoffs. Do we trust Caleb Williams to win a playoff game yet in his early career? I don't. So I'd rather get healthy and see where the chips fall. Eagles earn themselves a pseudo bye week. So you're on par with everybody else. You play this week as if it's a regular game, and then you rest next week. And I get that thought process, and I feel that. I'm not resting everybody for 2 straight games. But I will be cautious with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. I'll be cautious with Jordan Davis's snap count and Zach Bond and whatnot. I will be. But I'm 100% being overly cautious with Lane, with N'Kobe, and with Jalen Carter the next 2 weeks. Washington ain't that tough. Nobody worried about them. I don't worry about them. What I worry about is people with nothing to lose taking cheap shots and hurting your players. Instigating something. Is Dak so good he got benched? I know, he got benched. I mean, it was perfectly fine. Look, Dak's got over 4,000 yards. Good for Dak. 2,000-yard receivers. 1,000-yard running back. Good for them. Enjoyed Cancun the first week of January, Dallas. He has only missed 1 field goal under 50 all year. He banged 2 58-yard field goals earlier in the year. He only missed 1 extra point this year. He is middle of the league in 50-yard field goals. His kickoffs have been fine. I agree, Noobs. Now, you expect him to make some of those kicks. You do. When you're the second highest paid kicker, what is he, 7 of his last 12 field goals overall? I know most of those misses are from long distance, but you expect him to be a little bit more efficient than that. But I look at the big grand picture and realize that Jake Elliott, you're better off just figuring it out than anything else there. Good morning, Robert. How you doing this beautiful morning? Love that Steen and other players stood up for each other. That's the spark that ignites the team. I'm all for standing up for players. What I don't like is throwing punches and risking suspensions, especially in Week 18. I mean, Steen had no choice. I mean, he was being gang attacked by like 5 guys, whatever. But you got to be smart too. You stand up for each other, but you don't risk getting hurt. The thing that annoys me the most, Rick, it's in football and it's in hockey as well, is people that throw punches. Why are we throwing punches with helmets on and pads on? They're going to break a hand. But also, I know the personality you have that like, I get it. But I'm not risking my playoff future on a vendetta Washington has. I'm not. He is pulling kicks to the left. Elliott was money last year's Super Bowl. Why don't we start trying to line him up on the right hashtag or hash mark? He does keep pulling them all to the left. Tucker looked like shit the left. Yeah, exactly. Not just that, and he hasn't kicked since he got cut. So, yeah. Eagles most likely going to be the 3 seed, and that's a fine spot for them. I agree. Now, there is that outside chance of a 2. There is an outside chance of the 4 seed. I don't care. 2, 3, 4, no matter to me. It doesn't. Get guys healthy is all that matters. 2, 3, 4 doesn't matter to me. Get healthy. That's what matters. It will not if it will not be a sure thing, then I feel we should not play all our starters and better. I feel to try. Health is the key. The healthiest team typically makes deep runs in the playoffs. Healthy. It's so key. You don't risk these guys. Wayne Johnson doesn't need to knock rust off. Jalen Carter doesn't need to knock rust off. Heck, our defense has played great with him out there, not out there. My hot take is that the Eagles will be hosting the NFC Championship game as the 3 seed. I don't think that's a hot take. Because you think about it this way. Eagles win. Well, hold on. I got the box score up, but let me switch to the playoff standings. If they would have started right now, okay, the Eagles would be playing the 49ers who would play tonight, right? The Bears would be playing the Packers. Packers beat the Bears and then go on to face the Rams. And we go on and face Seattle, who's now the 1 seed. We can beat Seattle in Seattle. Sam Darnold don't scare me. Absolutely possible. The Bears will shit the bed at the worst possible time like the Lions did last season. I give the Bears man respect for the run they're having in Caleb Williams' second year. I've trash-talked Caleb Williams since draft day, since leading up to the draft. But I'm not going to say that I'm confident that that team can win in the playoffs much, if any. Like, I can't say that I'm confident in Caleb Williams come January yet. Like, he's impressed me. He's improved. But I'm not playing that game with him just yet, that he's going to make a deep run or anything like that. Not at all. Guys, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. There's only 6 likes. There's over a dozen of you watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Share. Please hit those buttons. And we were just here last year. It takes way more than a bad stretch to start changing the kicker. Not a single kickoff has been out of bounds. There aren't enough puzzle pieces out there to put together to replace. I agree. Jake Elliott's had down moments in his career. It's not a first for him. Play starters majority of Buffalo game and rest everybody versus Washington. It's probably what they're going to do. And it's probably the right decision. I would consider only playing the starters the first half versus Buffalo. I really would. I mean, guys, I haven't looked at it yet. I got to look at the timing of all the games on Saturday and Sunday and Monday next week or this week. See if there's a chance that we'll know our future a little bit better by that 4 o'clock start time. Dallas is in the playoffs. Dallas Goddard, that is. Cowboys suck. That we can all agree on, which is fine. Elliott will be fine. I agree. I agree with you on this, Robert. I do. I am not worried enough to go out and get a cold kicker off the street. Washington is a dirty team. Yes, it seems that way. Fighting serves a purpose in hockey, though. Does it, though? I mean, I get it. I loved when I was younger going to hockey games, Flyers games, and seeing fights break out. To me, it just isn't. I don't think it serves a purpose. I think it risks more than anything else. Fighting in sports is silly to me. We were 3 seed last year, and it all played out for us getting 2 home playoff games. Were we 3 or 2 last year? I know we got the 2 playoff games, but were we 3 or were we 2 last year? Whatever. It don't matter. It don't matter. But the other part of it is, Adam, even if we don't get multiple home playoff games, our fan base travels so well. Wherever the Eagles have to go on the road in the playoffs, there'll be plenty of Eagles fans to cheer them on. Plus, this Eagles team is a veteran team. It's young, but it's loaded with veterans. They're not afraid to go on the road in the playoffs or whatnot. Not at all. Not even in the least bit worried. And I don't think they should be worried. I think we're 5-3 on the road this year with Buffalo upcoming here. I think we're good. What's up, Warfighter? How you doing this beautiful morning? Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. Seattle does not worry me even a little bit. Here, it's funny. The teams that worry me the most are probably the teams that we'll face at home with the first playoff game, San Francisco. The Rams, if they don't win their division. They're the teams that worry me. Not the Bears. Not the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a solid team. But I'd be more worried about the Rams, 49ers, or Packers, or even the Lions if they squeak in. I think there's a big chance, even at the 3 seed, that the championship game is here, especially in a year where there's so much parity. Absolutely. The parity continued yesterday in the NFL. The Bears have gotten very lucky in about 6 games, and they have no playoff experience, so I don't see them going far. Bears are kind of like Washington last year. They got lucky in a lot of games as well. Warfighter, right? And then the lack of playoff experience eventually caught up with Washington. Jake Elliott ain't going anywhere this season, but there's a strong chance Howie replaces him. Here's the thing. You give him that little room, that little wiggle room to figure it out this playoff run, right, Rick? He figures it out great. If he doesn't, then yeah, Howie has to replace him. Now, I don't know his contract. I mean, I guess I could look up his contract, but whatever. You definitely got, I mean, he's been here for a long time. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's crazy, though, that this is the biggest concern outside of stardom or sit-em that we have. It really is. Jalen needs to get under center more. The data doesn't lie, and I know the Eagles analytics department sees it. Not sure why they aren't changing the game plan, though. Must be Hurts not liking it. They've gone under center more over the last couple of weeks. It obviously is working massively when they do it. They're also adding in different wrinkles. You know, we saw a lot of on Saturday, Warfighter, was shotgun empty backfield. 5 wideouts. Spread them out wide. That's been just as big of a deal. Like, they're really mixing it up. Kevin Patullo has been trying to get... Now Kevin Patullo's got to put it all together. It's like he keeps trying different things every game, but doesn't put all the things he sees working together in one game. Maybe he's saving it for the playoffs. Maybe he knows what works now, and they're just getting by on talent. And come playoffs, he's like, all right, now I got all the plays that work here. Well, we'll just stick to just this. To be really forward-thinking, I truly believe you could actually still win the last 2 games with the guys and inflate his value. With the guy and inflate. Oh, you're saying start Tanner McKee, win 2 games, and trade him. I see what you're saying there. Fighting definitely serves a purpose in hockey. There's no doubt about that. Okay. I mean, it's an opinion, but okay. I know who you meant. Yes. Bears are paper tigers. They might be. What's up, Nina? How you doing? So no one wants to address the first half and the fact that the Birds beat a 3rd-string quarterback. Does anyone want to tell me that the offense is fixed? Look, so the first half might not be as bad as you think, in my opinion, Nina. You fumbled the opening kickoff. That's a special teams issue. And there is a special teams issue in general, not just with Jake Elliott. You had some missed kicks. And, yeah, you beat and I know it was an 11-point win, but really they scored a touchdown with, a minute 10 left? So we were really winning by almost 3 touchdowns at that point. I'm not worried about it. The offense does look better. Complete, no. But every week has gotten better. And in this NFL season, with the parity that's going on, the Eagles are the most dangerous team in football. The Eagles are a team that no one wants to face in 3 weeks because of the way things are going. So I get what you're saying. And I think there's a conversation for some of this slightly. But to be honest with you, I'm not worried at all. Anybody can become angry, but to be angry with the right person and to fight to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose is not within everyone's power. Packers without Parsons don't worry me at all. Well, and I'm not a big Jordan Love guy at all. Patullo seems to be getting better each week. I see little things. Even the Chargers week, because of the interceptions and the fumble, the turnovers from Jalen Hurts, the Chargers week looks bad. But there were glimpses of improvement from Kevin Patullo's play calling and the whole team's execution, even in that Chargers game. We did beat their first team defense also, absolutely. I just looked up Elliott's contract, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 2029. Right, but what's the dead cap hit pre and post June 1st if they cut him in the offseason? Because that's a real possibility, depending on the situation. Better, but it's week 17, running out of excuses and time. And I get that. We have not played a complete game all season. Well, I think we played a complete game offensively and defensively, not special teams, this past week. But I get it. They have not looked like last year this year. And that's why I'm in the boat, Nina, that I'm resting Lane and Jalen for 2 more weeks. I'm resting starters this week even maybe. Because to me, the 2 reasons why, not Kevin Patullo related, why this team has struggled this year is because of injuries in the schedule. We've been over the schedule a million times. And the injuries. You've had Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, and Cam Jurgens miss how many games, but also play at like 60, 70% for the games that they did play. Jalen Carter's been hurt since training camp. How much did that affect his play? Get these guys healthy. Nakobe Dean missed the first 5-6 weeks. Just rounds into form and gets hurt again. Get these guys healthy, and then let's see what happens in the playoffs. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm dealing with. Eagles also beat Mahomes, Prescott, Stafford, Love, Mayfield, Goff. Yeah, I get it. Now it turns out a couple of teams might not make the playoffs. We thought they were good when we played them. It turns out they might have sucked. Actually, the Rams are the only one of those teams definitely in the playoffs now, which is kind of crazy to think about it, Rick. How difficult this schedule is or was. But yet, the only one definitely in the playoffs is Matthew Stafford. It's crazy. Jake Elliott, dead cap hit, 6.40. That's tough to cut. It's really tough to cut. That kind of a cap hit from a kicker. Any report on Dean? Everything I've read is that it was just minor. They'll probably be cautious with him and not play him this week. Maybe not next week. But all reports that I see is that he'll be fine. Now, there was also, I forget what it was, Rick, but there was reports that he had a holiday charity thing through his foundation. You know, every player's got a foundation. This past, I think on Sunday, after they got back from the game, and he was there, and he told somebody, a reporter was there, and he said he's fine. So we'll see. I'm going to be cautious with him, Rick. I'm not playing him on Sunday against the Bills. The defense is better with than without him. Only 10 likes. What's going on? I don't know. There's 15 people watching. That means there should be at least 15 likes. There's 13 votes on the poll question, which no one has voted no to the resting the 2 players, Carter and Lane Johnson. Everybody's saying play them at least, or rest them at least 1 game. Watch the Patriots and Chiefs games in the regular season after the Super Bowl. It's often a rocky road to the regular season. It is so difficult to repeat. Outside of dynasties like the Patriots and Chiefs, so difficult to repeat. And the Eagles have put themselves in a situation to do that. I think we should be more excited on how this season's played out than worried. More excited than disappointed in how this Eagles season's played out. This Eagles team has faced so much adversity this year, on and off the field. Jalen Hurts should get MVP considerations. Nick Sirianni should get Coach of the Year considerations for the way this season's played out. Quinny Mitchell definitely should get Defensive Player of the Year consideration, but he won't. I agree with you 100% here, Nooms. Playoffs, you talking playoffs? In Dallas, no one's ever talking playoffs in Dallas. The hamstrings that hurt more are usually less recovery time. They are so odd. Hamstrings annoy me more than any other injury in sports because they linger. They're always a problem. So I hate hamstrings, and they worry. Hamstrings do worry me. So it wouldn't surprise me in the least if it's fairly minor. I'm hoping so. Beat Mahomes, Prescott, Mayfield on a late turnover. Beat Goff with defense and Love with defense. Go ahead and tell me more about the Eagles' offense. Also lost to Prescott, Knicks, Herbert, Williams. Look, I get it, Nina. Wins are first and foremost. You're new-ish to the channel. I always believe that I don't care about stats, that the only thing I care about is wins, okay? So saying they beat Goff with defense and Love with defense, they still beat them. It's all that matters, okay? Wins are all that matters. Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So a late turnover, whatever. Yes, the offense has not been beautiful this year, but 3/5 of your offensive line has been hurt this year. Your running back is coming off a 2,000-yard season, okay? You have had drama, too. The fact that they're 10-5 right now, with everything, taking the whole picture into consideration, should be looked upon as a bright thing, not as a worry. And it might bite us in the ass. And we might be one and done. And I'll be pissed if we are. And it definitely could be better. But I'm looking for those glimmers of hope that tell me that it is getting better. And that we're on the right track to make another run. What's up, Suzanne? How you doing today? Plenty of faith in Jake in the playoffs when he has ever let us down. Never. The first Super Bowl, he hit that kick to win against the Giants, and that really kicked off everything. Look, I agree with that. This is my sentiment on the entire Jake Elliott thing. What would you rather? Go out and bring in an unknown off the street that hasn't kicked this year, or just ride it out with Jake Elliott and hope the guy that's made how many huge kicks in his career for us rights the ship? I'm going to go with the guy righting the ship. I'm getting into playoff mode now since we clinched our division. I'm in playoff mode. I am. I'm looking ahead. I don't even care about the Bills game, Adam. Nick Cassiano getting released or traded today. I mean, whether it happens today, tomorrow, the next, who cares? Just don't release them on Christmas Day. That would be mean. Beat Goff and Love with defense. That's the only way to beat them. I mean, two massively elite offenses that we just shut down. Don't care about stats, then how can you sit there straight face and call Hurts an MVP candidate? Not because of his stats, but because of the way he leads this team. I mean, beside the point that, he's got career highs and his touchdown numbers and his yards are all his personal best this year for the most part. The it factor, the leadership. I think we worry way too much about stats. All right? And I didn't say he is the MVP. I said he should be in the MVP conversation. Okay? He should get second, third, fourth place votes. All right? Drake May, he's a top tier MVP candidate in my opinion. For sure. Matthew Stafford, definitely in that conversation. Not Jalen Hurts. He's not going to win it. I'm not saying he should win it, but he should at least be in the talk. I think he's right now, betting-wise, like 14th in the MVP odds. It's a little ridiculous, in my opinion. 10 likes is not good enough on this show. Not at all. We got 18 people watching. Give us hope. I got plenty of hope. 11 now. Okay. The offense not being beautiful this year is why healthy starters should play this week against Buffalo. To me, it's the opposite. Okay? To me, the offense not being beautiful this year is because of the injuries. Wouldn't you rather your guys get healthy? Get your guys healthy so you have a better chance of being beautiful
Offensively speaking, in week 19, Dombrowski trading Strahm for a player worse than Strahm is another idiotic move. Look, the Matt Strahm situation is weird to me, Rick. It's a salary dump, Maybe it's a salary dump to afford a Bo Bichette or an Alec Bregman or whatever. Part of it is Matt Strahm had some negative things to say at the end of the season. But also, he's 33. He's pitched a lot of innings. Maybe Dombrowski is trying to get ahead of the curve. But you can't tell me you couldn't have gotten a better trade than that. I'm okay. I should say I'm for. I'm okay with them trading Strahm if the deal was right. That was just a joke of a trade. If it leads to something else, maybe. But, man, you tell me you couldn't get better than that? Ridiculous. I don't know if the street won't go 0 for 3. Might go 0 for 4. Or Nick Sirianni won't use them. Exactly about Jake. Look, that's how I feel. And it just doesn't make sense. Everybody's online telling me, oh, go get Justin Tucker. Dude hasn't kicked well in like 3 years. I mean, I put Jake Elliott as the top kicker in Eagles history over David Akers. David Akers probably could still kick too. With the way the offense was being called prior to the LA game, we weren't beating anyone. It was pretty easy to defend a predictable and banged up team. It's a month later now. We're still banged up. We're getting better. Right? We're a little less predictable. I don't know. Get JT signed? I mean, I hope so. Give us a Christmas miracle this week, Rick, right? Some are saying the Matt Strahm salary dump is to maybe up and increase the JT offer. I don't think that's the case. I think it was to, a part of a bigger plan. What that plan is, I don't know. I think JT's got the contract on the table. He's hoping someone will give him more, and if not, he'll be back. Are you playing the Stars against the Bills? I would love to rest them and play Tanner and Tank more. What do you think? I'm torn. I get it. People don't want to rest guys for 2 straight weeks. I would consider letting them play the first half, seeing how it plays out, seeing what time the Bears game is, and whether we have a chance at that 2 seed or falling back to the 4 seed. But I am bubble wrapping my team. I am not risking anything. This is a preseason. This is an old school preseason game for me. Jake holds the record for longest field goal in Eagles history. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate, Suzanne. The Eagles will make the Super Bowl. I hope so. I think so. Yeah, MVP is most valuable player, not the most stats. But see, unfortunately, Warfighter, the way the NFL votes on awards, MVP is who's the best quarterback with the highest passing yards. Defensive Player of the Year is who gets the most sacks or interceptions. People can't think about their eye test and what a player does for their team leadership-wise. We'll always say MVP is the most meaningful. It is honestly, it's not to the players because so much of their bonuses rely on it. But yeah, I get that because the MVP award is voted on the wrong way. The league has forgotten what MVP means exactly. In all sports, honestly. Remember, didn't Alex Rodriguez won an MVP in baseball one year with his Rangers team, winning like 75 games? Like, you don't get the MVP award for your team missing the playoffs by 20 games. Miss of the first dynasty in Eagles history. We are. Well, I hope we are. It may be clear to clear the way for JT. The Matt Strahm thing, it might be. I'm hoping it's more than that, but we may be. Bubble wrap everyone. Exactly. That's my thought process. So what Strahm called out management? Good. We do that all the time. Yeah, exactly. I agree. If that's why they got rid of him, I don't got a problem with what he did. But you asked why or how that came about. That's why. Last time Eagles won, MVP was 60, Norm Van Brocklin. Saquon should have last year. And do not let Jake kick from the left hash anymore. If he makes those kicks from the right hash, they're all good. Dude can't figure out how to slice. He can watch my golf game, and he can figure out how to slice pretty easily. Kills me that we had Dicker the kicker on this roster, and we let him get away. Good morning, K1. You can see the newer concepts and better preparations. It's just not the strength of the opponent. There are nuances in the quarterback's decisions making as well. Yeah. Dipshit GM acts like Boland's 6 years of control matters when the bum has no options left. Front office makes me want to puke all over. Look, I get it. I agree. I don't disagree with you at all. I love what Jake has done for us, but man, we could have Dicker if he wasn't here. Look, I'm not moving on from Jake Elliott at this point. I'm just not. Football practice goes like this: stretching and warm up, position drill, blocking, tackling, then team practice plays designed for the game. Head coach decides to practice special teams at the end. Well, they better practice special teams a little bit more. I mean, not just Jake Elliott. Let's be honest. We have a Will Shipley issue. His confidence got rattled, kick returning. Coverage teams has been inconsistent at best all year. Everybody wants to look at Kevin Patullo. Nobody wants to look at Michael Clay. Play the starters for the whole Buffalo game to keep them sharp and treat Washington game as a preseason game and rest all the starters. It's probably what will happen, Rick. And I'll be okay with that, right? But I'll be here Monday morning next week saying, what? If somebody gets hurt. Actually, I won't be here Monday morning, but yeah. Dicker the kicker was a rookie in 2018, right? Was he? I don't know. Actually, I will be here next Monday. No. I'll be here on... Yeah, no, next Monday I won't be here. I'll be flying on next Monday. Bears play Niners Sunday Night Football this week. So we won't know about the Bears till after our game. Gotcha. So when we kick off, we will still have a chance at that 2 seat. Gotcha. That's one of the things. I haven't looked at all that stuff yet. The game seems to have passed Dombrowski by. I've said that for a while now. Okay? A while now. The wins were extremely variable in Washington as well. Possibly. Jake has sucked for 2 years. Has he? I mean, he made the kicks when called upon in the playoffs last year. I mean, let's be honest. Has the kicking been great his entire career here? No. This is his second or third stretch of inconsistent play. The team has showed faith in him, and he's bounced back every time. Now, maybe he doesn't bounce back this time. I don't know. But I'm willing to find out. Yeah, they're not football players. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Apparently, so as the holder and long snapper. Yeah. The one thing I will say, kickers aren't football players, but our two great kickers in Eagles history, Jake Elliott and David Akers, have both been pretty elite athletes that have come here. David Akers, I believe he was a judo champion, and Jake Elliott's obviously a great golfer as well. So there is some other skill sets that those two kickers has. Was it judo that he was good at? I want to say judo. Elliott, most accurate playoff kicker. Absolutely. Dead last in field goal percentage in the regular season. Look, all these things are accurate. All these things are fair. But I'd still take Elliott over somebody that hasn't kicked this year. First in anything 49 and under. To say kickers aren't football players is wild. They score more points. It's true. It's just a joke, Warfighter. It's more sarcasm than anything else. I just like to make fun of kickers. I had David Akers on a show as a guest years ago. Just like to give kickers a hard time. What does NFL stand for? I don't know if this is a joke or not. Because there's lots of jokes on what it stands for. Akers legend for his shit talking in Dallas story. Absolutely. Absolutely. David Akers, Brazilian judo. All right, so you're going with the sarcasm, but not the joke. Gotcha, not for long. And I absolutely agree with you, K1. So, K1, you would have more faith in a random free agent kicker coming in here right now than Jake Elliott? That's my question. Because I don't know if I would. David Akers is only 51. If Philip Rivers could make a comeback, why not? He was actually asked on Sunday. I saw a video wherever he was on Sunday circulating social media. Him being asked by a fan on camera, hey, come back for the Eagles and kick. And he said, no, Jake Elliott will be fine. He hasn't missed anything under 50 except one extra point, I believe. I don't see enough to spend a draft pick on a kicker. That's for sure. Absolutely not spend a draft pick on a kicker. Why would anybody do that? Yes, you would. Okay. But see, and that's fine. And I'm asking you why. Why you would have more faith in the unknown than the known. And what is the known on Jake Elliott? That he is struggling mightily this year, right? But his track record says he can fix it. And I get all this with that Nooms is saying about under 50-yard field goals and all. But in this day and age, 60 is the new 50. Those 40-yard field goals are chip shots and it should be locks. 50-yard field goals, most good kickers can make 50 to 52, 50, 53-yard field goals with ease. You got kickers kicking 60-yard field goals with room to spare now. So the goalpost has moved, to use a pun here, on what is the standard for kickers now. I knew it was something, jiu-jitsu, judo. I knew it was something that he was big into. The known on Jake is that he is done. It is possible. But again, we, not me and you, but we as Eagles fans have had this conversation now 2 or 3 times on Jake Elliott. And he's figured it out each time. Can he figure it out? Kickers don't tackle, block, catch, or pass. They kick the ball, nothing more, nothing less. Referee gets more action than a kicker. David Akers used to be able to tackle. He used to use that judo, jiu-jitsu, flip guys over. He wasn't afraid of a hit. Jake Elliott, most kickers, yes, I agree. It is concerning that Jake has missed the kicks he's missing in an age where kickers are making more. See, look at this. We're on the same page here. 40 to 49 yards, that's nothing to be perfect from. You got to be perfect from 50, 53 now. You got kickers kicking 60-yard field goals at an incredible rate now. It's crazy. It's crazy that our biggest concern is the kicker right now. It says a lot about how good our team is. Jake Elliott has figured it out, though. Multiple times in the past. Good morning, AK. How you doing today? We got a team. We're on a team that likes to go for it, not kick field goals. What are we even talking about? That's true. That's true. They do get in their own heads, kickers. That's absolutely. And he claims he's not, but I don't believe that, right? Jake Elliott said, no, it's not mental. It's not an injury. Well, it's one or the other. Good morning, Little G. How you doing today? Hope you are well. On to Buffalo. Like golfers with the yips. Yeah, it's all right. And they don't get kicked off the tour instantly after 1 or 2 bad tournaments. Dallas going to give us a happy Christmas by losing again. I won't watch any football on Christmas, probably. Every time Dallas loses, an Angel gets its wings. Man, there must be a lot of new Angels out there, Freddie. When you're even asking a kicker if it's mental, yes, it's exactly. If it's not an injury, it's mental. Right, K1? I agree with you on that. But we're at a point here where this is our biggest concern. This is our biggest issue. And it's crazy to me that our biggest question marks are coming with the kicker. Not Kevin Patullo. Not injuries. Kicker. We're talking kickers here on a Monday morning. We are talking Phillies as well and their questionable moves. Sixers playing really good basketball at the moment. And I got to throw it under the table or under the desk. Yes, that was indirectly a direct pun about the Flyers and Tim Saunders' situation, who has not made an inappropriate joke that got overheard by somebody that shouldn't have heard it. Unfortunately, Tim Saunders' joke was heard by the 47 people listening on the radio to the Flyers game the other day. Do you think it's fair that he was suspended only 2 games? Some people think he should have gotten more, some less. Noops. I know you think this is a funny joke. This is the third or fourth time you've typed it out. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy. But I love it. What I saw in the 2 games this weekend from VJ Edgecombe, the dude's a stud. And I'm so glad that we didn't listen to the national pundits and we drafted him over Ace Bailey. I'd be more alarmed by if half the kickers weren't missing yesterday. Jake has played solid his whole career. I'll let this rough patch of 2 games slide. I think it's been a little bit more than 2 games, but yeah, I'm letting it slide. I'm with you on the whole thing. Because, AK, as I've said in the show a couple times, the unknown of a cold kicker off the street, we don't know if they're going to be able to kick it. We know Jake Elliott can make the clutch kick in January and February. He's done it before. It could be the hold as well as the snap that could throw the timing off, but is more than likely mental. The 2 misses Jake had against the Commanders seemed like a mental issue. I'll say this. One of the kicks, he had to plant his foot on the paint. It looked like his left plant foot slipped just a tiny bit on one of those kicks, but he won't make that excuse. Man. I definitely came down with the flu this weekend. Like yesterday, I barely moved off my couch. I'm sick as shit right now, if you guys can't tell. If you're a returner and get tackled by a kicker, don't even come back to the sidelines. You go directly to the wall of shame. Yeah, that's true. I think it's a clever wordplay. It was clever. The first time he typed it out, K1. He's been typing it out on replay comments and short comments. He's overusing a very, very cheesy tag right there, okay? It really seems like kickers in general we're having a rough year because even guys we consider better have missed a lot this year. Yeah, I don't know. They're also kicking field goals from longer distances than ever before. Paul Reed had out the mud. VJ maybe having edging with Kate and Allah. What? Out the mud? I don't know what that is. Is that a podcast or something? I don't know. Look, the Sixers are playing great basketball. The Sixers have an interesting question ahead of them this year. What they do, they have valuable trade assets. They're sitting in a good spot in the NBA standings. We're more than a quarter away through the season. Do you go all in and make a move to push this team ahead? Do you just let it play out? I don't know what the Sixers should do. I don't know what the Sixers' plan should be. But Jared McCain's name came up a lot this weekend in conversations about trades and how you can't trade Jared McCain. The Sixers have a plethora of young guards. If you think the Sixers have a chance to make a deep run, and you've got to trade an asset to help that, depending on the deal, I'm in for trading Jared McCain. Unpopular opinion, yes. I love the kid, yes. I want him to be a Sixer, yes. But I would trade him over VJ Edgecombe. Andre Drummond, corner specialist. That was a shock this weekend, Mitchie Poo. It was. How he needs to see if Nigel Gruff is available, as long as he's given up his gambling addiction, okay? If he's still gambling in the house, drinks are on the outside, then no, we don't need Nigel. But, the leg could help us, if he's got his gambling problem under control. Damn, you never saw RB's podcast? I did. That's why I said, is that a podcast? I didn't know that was the name. Looks lifted as lit. Okay. We may be witnessing an evolution of the kicker position capabilities, similar quarterbacks where passing got better and Elliott is part of the old guard. It might be the case, Warfighter. It really may be the case. That kicking is just changing the NFL. That's fine. Jake Elliott can't kick from 60 yards. That's fine. I still have faith in him that come January or come February, when a big kick needs to be made, that he can figure it out. I have total faith in him to figure it out versus the alternative. Nigel Gruff, yeah, You just hold the ball, Shane. I'll kick the bloody piss out of it. Yep, absolutely. If you can go out and get a kicker that can kick 60-plus yards, I'm all for it. Just a kicker after all, so no complaints here. But are you going to get a kicker on December 22nd that can kick a 60-yarder in January that's got experience in that situation? The pressure. Jake Elliott's kicked in 3 Super Bowls. He's kicked in 2 winning Super Bowls. The experience level will be hard for me to replace at this point in the season. Now, if you want to talk about this, AK, and the others, in the offseason, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with moving on from a kicker in the offseason. But this point of the season, with the playoffs upon us, I don't know if I do it. Dallas Goedert, top 5 tight end in the NFL. Dallas Goedert's making himself a shit ton of money, Mitchie Boo. What was Saturday's touchdown? His 10th of the year? 11th touchdown of the year? Dallas Goedert has earned himself a payday, a major payday this offseason. Despite him being 30, 31 years old, seeing what Mark Andrews got paid, the Eagles are not going to be able to send Dallas Goedert off into free agency and have him get kicked back for a 1-year cheap deal again. So, yeah. Top 5? I mean, name me 5 tight ends that are better than him right now. I don't think you can. Aubrey didn't exactly make the difference for the Cowboys. No, he did not. I didn't mean this year. Okay, gotcha. Some mean right now. Okay, some people want the Eagles to replace Jake Elliott now. That's why I didn't understand that. Also, Jake's on this team this year. I get that. I'm cool with it. If he's here next year, I'm just saying, if you guys want someone like that, I won't complain. Gotcha. Glad we cleared that up. Look, you could definitely bring a competition. You could definitely look at the alternatives in the offseason. But right now, at this point, unless he's hurt and we don't know it, which I don't know. If he's hurt, then okay. Then sure, bring somebody else in. But if he's healthy, you just let it rot. You let him figure it out. Dabrowski considering trading Mike Hunt and Diaz to replace Strahm. Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, I do. And we've gone over it. It just doesn't make sense, the Strahm trade, in the sense that you couldn't get more for him. I can't believe you couldn't get somebody slightly better in that trade. It's just ludicrous. It's crazy. That was the first thought that went through my mind. I wasn't even going to say it. Would you trade Embiid and McCain to Sacramento for Sabonis and Dennis Schroeder? The Kings are tanking. Oh, absolutely, I would trade both those. This has nothing to do with Dennis Schroeder or Sabonis. This is getting Embiid off this roster. Look, I love Joel Embiid, one of the greatest Sixers of all time. I wish he would have won a title here. He didn't. He's not going to. You are stuck with the most awful contract in all of sports right now, Joel Embiid. If you find a way to get off that contract, you do it like that. Done. No question asked. I don't care what it takes. If it means taking on Sabonis' contract, I'm fine with that. I'm done with trades. Give me roster stability. Yeah, I mean, the problem is the Sixers don't have roster stability because you never know when Joel Embiid or Paul George are going to play. I will say I did see a stat. I don't remember it off the top of my head. The Sixers, with games that Paul George and Tyrese Maxey have both started together, something like 6-1 or 7-1 now. So maybe Paul George is rounded into shape in a decent way right now. I don't know, but maybe. They have shown that they know how to handle the situation. They have. And the Sixers are playing, but that's why I'm asking questions. Sixers related. What do you do? Do you just sit on the assets you have and just ride it out? See what this year happens? Look, I have no expectations for them, but they've got a chance to make a run to the playoffs. much into it, but maybe they do. If you've got to make change to the Sixers roster to push them over the top, is Jared McCain on the table? He is. Where does Dallas Goedert rank all time? Zach Ertz has got to be listed as the number one guy. I mean, obviously, he's got the record for most catches in a season. Dallas Goedert might be a top 5 receptions all time in Eagles history. Or Zach Ertz does. Dallas Goedert's got to be second greatest tight end ever. Probably in Eagles history. Got to think about that. Probably. The Flyers have a better chance to make a deep run than the Sixers. It's possible. It's very possibly an accurate statement, K1. I would have more confidence in that for sure. AK says, Ertz, Selleck, Dallas, but that's my personal 3. And they've all come in the last 20 years, which is crazy. Yeah, I could put Selleck ahead of Dallas. I think Dallas was more of a physical specimen than Selleck. I can flop 2, 3, or not, whatever. I would say Goddard is 3. Don't forget. I'm not forgetting Selleck. I was also going to throw Chad Lewis's name in there, but he wasn't even close. They went through all this BS to get this roster. I'm giving them the year. As is. Okay? I don't hate that idea either, Noobs. I'm not trying to say I want to trade Jared McCain. I'm just bringing up the topic that some people are saying that Jared McCain is 100% untouchable. Okay? Everyone's like, you can't trade him for anything. That's all I'm pointing out. That he is definitely tradable. Barry who? Would have been a better trade than the bum Dombrowski got from Casey. Look, it was just a really bad move. Who? Who was the best tight end in franchise history? Did this guy play in 1947? John Spagnuolo. Who? What? Oh. Guys, if you haven't yet, we're past the top of the hour. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. LJ Smith. Wow. We're really digging into our bag of tricks. Hey, I could say Mark Bavaro was an Eagle at one point, right? He's a great Giants tight end that spent a year. Chad Lewis, man. Chad Lewis was a really good tight end. He really was. Played his role great here. Had a huge catch in that. What was that? Was that in the Super Bowl or the playoffs? I forget. I will always have a special place in my heart for Chad Lewis. Ertz, Selleck, Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson was a great tight end. I don't know if he did it long enough and well enough here in Philly to be one of the Eagles' greats. I don't. But he was a very good. Because the offense was just not that special at that point. Yeah, Keith Jackson, if we didn't have the offense was just bad back then. Even though I thought Randall didn't have any weapons. Randall did have Keith Jackson. Is he related to Steve Spagnuolo? Like I said, Selleck, it just holds a special place. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to rank our favorite player, or like the best players in our team history for any position because we have biases and who we like the most and who has special places in our hearts and stuff like that. It makes it difficult. It skews our opinion somewhat. You met Chad Lewis at a TGI Fridays. Was he the host or the busboy at the TGI Fridays, Mitchie Poo? Did he sit you at your table or did he clear your table off? Clay Harbor is by far our best tight end ever. I mean, Philly. See? Keith Jackson had to go to a real offense in Green Bay to get a ring. Where have we heard that before? Eagles going to Green Bay to get rings. Where have we heard that before? Right? Got interesting random conversations going on here today. We're talking kickers, greatest tight ends of all time. And nobody wants to talk about the Flyers. Well, their announcer. I'm shocked that hasn't come up outside of from me. Ertz was Wentz's favorite target. He was. Wentz didn't have an A.J. Brown. I mean, Alshon Jeffries was pretty good, but he wasn't anywhere near that level. So it made it a little different. Made the Eagles have to focus on Zach Ertz a little bit more. Oh, geez. I'm sorry. Fire me off into the sun right now. I think it's all the cold medicine I'm on right now. Definitely getting me a little. It's definitely kicked in. I took cold medicine about 5 minutes before the show went on the air. Must be the cold medicine making my brain wires crisscross. I thought what he said was funny as hell. Who? What? Me with the Philly? Dude. I literally have probably one of the worst flu bugs right now that I could possibly have. Phillies haven't. Yeah, I pulled that one to the left a little bit. My bad. Yeah, while you're down there, can you Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it. I could say the inappropriate comments. I think it's kind of hilarious. Oh, you're talking about the Flyers announcer. Yeah, gotcha. Look, the Flyers announcer thing. We've all been caught on a hot mic before. Well, no, we haven't all. A lot of announcers have been caught on a hot mic. I think it's what I find so funny about the Tim Saunders situation with him making an inappropriate comment is when the guy he made the comment to said, yo, we're still live on the air. Instead of Saunders being upset about it, you know what Saunders said? He laughed. He's like, oh. Like it was funny. And it was funny. Best fullback tight end combo hybrid. I don't know. That might be Keith Byers. Best fullback tight end combo. If it was Trey Burton that made the offense next level an opportunity. Phil, can you fire yourself? Nah. Mike is always fire. I don't know about that. Gotta wash it. All the germs, I'm spitting on it today. In case I get over this cold, I got to get the germs off of the mic by the end of the day. Got to fight through this. Got lots happening this week with Christmas. Got to get through this cold. Kelsey, Clement, Burton, Foles. I think what Tom Brady said on air was bad, and no one hated it, or bad and I, or hatred and I. What did Tom Brady say? I forget now. I don't even remember what Brady said. They never played Byers at tight end, unfortunately, but he could have. I thought they did later in his career in Philly. They did move him to the tight end position a little bit. Maybe he wasn't officially ever listed as a tight end, but he played the tight end role at times later in his Philly career. Who was better, Herschel Walker, Eagles, or Herschel Walker on the Cowboys? They both were overrated. Maybe it wasn't until he got to Miami. Gotcha. What did he say? Dickerson is nowhere near. What? I don't even know what you're saying, Warfighter. I don't remember this situation. Who was better? Herschel? Oh, I already put that up there. I don't know. Maybe the Eagles? They both were terrible. I don't remember Brady saying anything bad. I don't. Yeah, Byers was definitely probably more the tight end in Miami. Maybe I'm definitely off on that a little bit. I do remember Keith Byers, the tight end. But yeah, maybe it was more Miami, his time there when he went there. It is what it is. Anyway, if you haven't liked the show yet, please do subscribe. Hey, this is my flu game right now, okay? This is the second time I've had a flu game this year where I'm pumping out a show sick as crap. So, guys, I need your likes and I need your subscribers and I need shares. Got to make this worth my time. The fact you don't know what Brady said proves that they swept that one under the rug. You know what? I'm writing it down, Warfighter. I wrote it down. I'll look it up after the show, okay? Brady said he could come back and play well in the NFL, especially if Philip Rivers can. Didn't Refrigerator Perry play halfback a few times? Would hate to be the man in front of that one. Yeah, look, I've been asking for that to happen with Jordan Mailata or Jordan Davis since they got drafted. Said the hard R-N word when he was trying to say Dickerson. Okay, maybe. I have to look it up. What is your overall opinion on Jaden Phillips? You mean Jalen Phillips, our edge rusher? Jalen Phillips I love. I don't know who Jaden Phillips is, though. But Jalen Phillips I love. He's got to be a top priority in the offseason. Are you ready to say who you want face in the first round? I've already said I don't want to face the 49ers. I don't know. Obviously, the 49ers could win tonight, and that could change more. Like, there's very few teams that can make the playoffs. Only 8 teams for 7 spots left. Well, 9 teams, I guess, because Tampa could still win their division. It's all about playoff seeding now. I don't want to face, I would prefer to face Seattle, Green Bay, even Chicago, before I'd rather face the Rams or the 49ers. The Rams and 49ers are the 2 teams I don't want to face. Jalen Phillips? Yeah, Jalen Phillips. Eagles linebacker. I got you. Look, I love Jalen Phillips. The Eagles defense, since we traded for Phillips, has been immensely better. He has made this team deeper and this defense more special. He might only have the 1 sack, but everyone else's game has improved since he's gotten here. Come on, I need to see it. Who wouldn't want Jordan Mailata or Jordan Davis halfback diving? You know what I would do? The tush push is not an effective play for the Eagles offense anymore, which is weird. Everybody wants the tush push gone. It doesn't go away. Everybody else starts running it successfully, and we stop running it successfully. Like, just think about the whole circle on the tush push. We dominate, so they try to ban it. They can't ban it. Everyone else gets good at it, except for us. It's weird. All 3 games will be home. All 3 playoff games will be home. I mean, even if they're on the road. Even if all 3 playoff games are on the road, noobs, we're 5-3 on the road. I trust our experience level to go in any situation and win on the road. I also trust our fan base to take over whatever city they go to. I don't know where Eagles fans get their money. Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. We don't have rich people in the city, but yet our fans travel and mortgage their houses every single week to go follow this team around. It's crazy. I know what Warfighter's talking about. Yeah, he did say the hard N-word, but it was very quick. You had to catch it. It was a total mistake, but they definitely swept it under the rug. I don't even remember it happening. Wait, are we talking best tight ends of all time? Where's Keith Jackson? Look, we've been talking this. Yeah. I mean, I guess. But I would definitely put Dallas Goedert ahead of them, for sure. Hand the team over to Maxine VJ. Have they not already? I kind of feel like they already have Marky Mark. I feel like they've already turned this team over to them. Going to Seattle is tough with the 12th man. Well, there'll be a 13th and 14th man there from Philadelphia as well, Adam. John Spagnola's name has come up a few times, as has Keith Jackson. Pete's name has not come up at all. But it's still, to me, it's still Ertz and Goddard. They're still your best. Then you could debate all the rest with Brent Selleck and the guys from the old days. At least that's my opinion. I also feel like it's hard to evaluate guys from eras that you didn't watch. Like, I started watching football in the late 80s. So it's hard for me to evaluate based off of just what I didn't see. Recency bias, but the recency bias comes with Super Bowls. Now, I will say on the flip side, statistically speaking, it's tough because the league is much more of a passing league now than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Tight ends used to be blockers that could catch passes. Now tight ends are just basically big-bodied wide receivers, right? So the evolution of the position plays a factor in that as well. What are you ranking them based on? Are you ranking them, well, they were the best in their era, or where they ranked in their era compared to the other eras? I don't know. I don't care who we play in the playoffs. We are getting hot at the right time. We can beat any team. I agree, Adam. The Eagles can beat any team, without a doubt, in my opinion. They can. And they probably will. Tight ends are failed basketball players. Yeah, I mean, a lot of elite tight ends did have basketball careers as well. They did. That's a fair statement right there. It absolutely is a fair statement. Anyway, Anyway, I do agree with it. It's much harder to play tight end at the late 80s, early 90s, especially with having less rules back then and refs not being so picky. It was easier to get away with stuff. There's that also. But it was just, think about who the best tight ends in the league were back then versus now, what they were capable of doing. There was no Travis Kelce's back then. There were no Tony Gonzalez's back then. The role of the tight end, somewhere late in the 90s, started to change. And what tight ends were capable of doing and how offenses utilized them started to change. And I don't know who was the first one to really start that adjustment period. I don't know who the first one really was to push that change in what a tight end was capable of doing. I mean, he's either 1, 2, or 3. There's 2 or 3 guys. You got him. You got Gronk. You got Kelce. You got Gates. There's about 4 or 5 guys that you would rank in that top 4 or 5. I'd probably put Tony Gonzalez. That's tough. I have to think long and hard about that. Wasn't expecting a 30-minute conversation about tight ends today. I didn't do a deep dive in preparation for anything, let alone tight ends today. Literally threw this show together in the middle of medicine taking yesterday and hacking up lungs yesterday and other things. So, yeah, I'm not prepared to have a who's the best tight end of all time conversation. But, yeah, Tony Gonzalez, I don't know. I would say Gonzalez 1, Gronk 2, Kelce 3, Gates 4. That would probably be my uneducated guess. The Illuminati have done your show prep, buddy. Yeah, you have. I'm being carried by the core today. You should have preparation of tight ends again. No, definitely should not. I'd have to say the 2 guys that revolutionized the tight end position was Gonzalez. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. He wouldn't get that top 4 of all time, but he was there that time period when the position was changing, evolving. It might have been Tony Gonzalez that was the true revolutionary in the position. He's a revolutionary. So, yeah, that might be accurate. Shannon Sharp was the other one in that time period I was thinking of. I couldn't think of off the top of my head. But, yeah. Anyway, we got about 15 minutes left in the show, at least today. If you guys haven't, like, subscribe, share. We're talking Eagles. Poll question today. Should the Eagles rest Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter for the next 2 weeks? Yes, no, or just week 18 rest, play week 17? Where it's 61% of you agree. 9% said no, so that means 2 of you voted no. Just week 18, play week 17 was 30% of the vote. I still am in the boat that, yes, you rest Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter for the rest of the regular season. You rest everybody week 18. I am not concerned about playoff seeding in the least bit. I am not. Christmas Eve show I'm definitely not doing a Christmas Day show. Not waking up and doing a show Christmas Day. I got to go to my sister's, see the kids on Christmas morning. But we will do a show on Christmas Eve. Absolutely. We'll have our Festivus show. There's my Festivus poll right there. We will be airing our grievances tomorrow for sure. 100%. I have a feeling Jake Elliott will have some grievances aired against him. It's weird because tomorrow's the airing of grievances. Tomorrow's Festivus, right? But I'm in such a positive mood. Big picture with Philadelphia sports. I don't want to go down the negative rabbit hole. But I kind of feel obligated to have a Festivus themed show. So I don't know how tomorrow's show will go. I don't. I'd add Antonio Gates to that list with Gonzalez and Sharp. Yeah, I mean, I put Antonio Gates as the 4th greatest tight end of all time. Gates, especially with the Chargers, was elite tight end. Elite. And he played a long time, too. Both him and Tony Gonzalez played really long careers in the NFL. Were able to protect themselves body-wise and have long careers. For sure. But the Eagles have had some great tight ends. Like, while we're having this conversation, the Eagles tight ends, you think about it, the greats have all come from the modern era. What's up, TMC? A little late to the program. Listen, if there's one place you want to be shitty in football, it's kicker, because more often than not, unless you do something really stupid, people will forget you unless your name's Ray Finkel. That is true. That is true. Got a lot of grievances with the Phillies. Okay? Save them for tomorrow. Okay? We are airing our grievances tomorrow. I might even make a new overlay for tomorrow's show with a Festivus poll on it, okay? Maybe I will do that. Cowgirls stink. They do. I've got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it. And it doesn't end until you pin the boss. I'm the boss. None of you in the Core 12 are pinning my ass, just so you know, to end Festivus. Gonzalez did. I think Gates did. I'm 100% sure Gonzalez did. I want to say yes to Gates as well, Soldier Steve. I do. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Yes. What's up, Eagles girl? How you doing this beautiful Monday morning? Hope you're well. Hope you're better than me. I'm going to air my grievances on stupid Kelsey. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the airing of grievances, not today. That is just the way this goes. You got to be patient. Festivus is the 23rd, not the 22nd. So, yeah, we're up to 18 likes today, guys. Not too bad. It's been a light show today. Partially my fault for I'm phoning this one in today. Started to feel a little sick on Friday. Definitely was feeling it on Saturday. I woke up yesterday. I was so glad there was no Eagles game yesterday. I literally barely got off my couch. I did get off my couch long enough to make some homemade chicken noodle soup yesterday. It did help. But, man, well, I don't feel as awful as yesterday. Talking as congested and sick as the cold is still right here. Man, it's brutal today. I'm definitely phoning it in. I will not wear a white puffy shirt. Panthers owner, Bucks guy seething. What? Look, the Panthers, good for them winning. They are now in the driver's seat in their division. Technically, the Panthers could be the 3 seed over the Eagles. We keep talking about getting the 2nd seed. Well, the Eagles could fall back to the 4 seed, in theory. I already feel better, but doing this here with what's left in my system, it's very different. They're difficult. Definitely not. Definitely not COVID. Definitely the flu. 100% the flu. My wife and I both got it. I'm even pretty sure I know where I got it from. It's definitely not COVID. Looking forward to the feats of strength. I am the champion of the feats of strength, okay? I am. 100% the champion of the feats of strength, okay? Who would win the feats of strength in the Eagles locker room? Jordan Mailata, Jordan Davis, or somebody else? I know that he didn't revolutionize the tight end position, but I got to throw him in there. Jermichael Finley. Where did that name come from? Like, I remember the name. I'm sure I had him on a fantasy team at one point. But what made you think of Jermichael Finley all of a sudden? Panthers-Eagles playoffs. Will XL drop it again? Xavier Legette is even playing for them? I don't even know. Negativity is the Philadelphia love language. Our sports teams are Rocky Balboa, and the fans are Paulie. It's a great comparison, honestly. Jalen Hurts might win the feats of strength. He might, because he's got the it factor. He's got that never give up, never surrender attitude. Okay? So that's true. Jordan Mailata would probably lay down for Hurts, too. He wouldn't try to hurt his quarterback. He wouldn't try to pin his guy, right? He'd let him win, right? Or something like that. 49ers. Is Rivers starting tonight for the Colts? I haven't even predicted tonight's game. Let me look at the line on tonight's game. It is in Indy. It is a 5.5 point spread. The 49ers are favored in the game. So I guess, yeah, Phillip Rivers is playing still tonight. Yeah, that's a tough one. He was an amazing tight end. I loved watching Philly play football. Sucks his career got ended the way it did. We'll probably break out I can't even try to pronounce tough words to say. The Manzier is not a tough word, but it just looks tough. It just made my head hurt even looking at the word. Luckily, the sinus headache is gone today. It's just the sinuses. Anyway. Call it the bro that the man's ear and the bro. Look, it's a great idea. I don't really need it though. Not yet. I'll probably need one later in life. I ain't gonna lie. Did I just feel myself up live on the air? I think I did. The shit that goes on in this show. Really. What how did I even get to 934 subscribers? That's my question. With how crazy this show gets. How did I even get that far? I remember seeing Hurts' power when he ran through 3 players to get a touchdown a couple years ago against the Vikes. His legs are super strong. The dude squats 600 pounds. It is what it is, right? Hurts is one tough SOB. Hurts is an MVP, in my opinion. He's not, but he is. Got to think of it that way. We're still at 934 subscribers, right? 934. We've got, 9 days left this year to get to 1,000? There's 66 to go. Means we need to gain about 7 subscribers a day. It ain't happening. My goal is just not happening. Manscaped Live now. I would be at minus 1,000 like that. I know. Pump Man doesn't like to come out of the woodwork. Well, there's nothing negative to say about Jalen Hurts. I get it. You know, we give Pump Man a hard time, but you know what? Pump Man gives me clicks sometimes. So, you know, he'll click the like button. He's subscribed. So I give him a little bit of credit just because he does support the channel. But, yeah, his Hurts hate is definitely a frustrating thing from time to time for sure. Christmas games are all ass. I don't even know what games are on Christmas. I know the Cowboys play, but I don't even know. I won't watch football on Christmas at all. No sports, period. Thank you very much, Mister. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you. Nakobe Dean had a hamstring injury. How serious it coming? I thought you were. Dude, I've already talked about that. We've covered the Nakobe Dean injury. I even gave you information that he was asked by a beat reporter on Sunday when he was at his charity thing about it, and he said he is fine. Okay? So I am not worried about Nakobe Dean, but I am going to be cautious because hamstring injuries are tricky. I am not playing Nakobe Dean the rest of the season. I'm not. Not in the least bit. Not playing Nakobe Dean at all. I'm not playing Lane Johnson or Jalen Carter the next 2 games. I'm not playing Nakobe Dean the next 2 games, and I'm not playing Saquon Barkley the next 2 games. Those 4 guys get a pass. Now, a lot of other starters can get a pass week 18. But I did give all the beat reporter information. My favorite safety of all time, and it doesn't just have to be Dawkins, just because we're Eagles. Well, it is Dawkins. But if you took Dawkins out of the equation, greatest safety of all time, or favorite safety of all time, Andre Waters, man, and Ronnie Lott. From my childhood, man. Both those guys, I just love their intensity. He does it to rile you guys up, too, a little bit. Pick it up. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm literally doing this with the flu game 2.0 here. All right? Hurts is an MVP to you, to the same way everyone kids are MVPs to them. It's in whatever sport they do, even when they aren't. Yeah, maybe. Pump Man seething after great Hurts performance. Yes. All work and no play makes me a try. Your source on the repackaging deal. Yeah, that didn't work out. That did not work out for me. Let Tank roll on for it. Wes Hopkins, man, yeah. Ed Reed, we're not saying best. We're saying favorites, okay? So Ed Reed's one of your favorites of all time, not named Dawkins. I mean, he's up there for sure. I just got so much love for the other 2 I named, Andre Waters and Ronnie Lott literally cut a finger off to play a football game. Cut it off. I'm playing. Ronnie Lott, man, the finger story on Ronnie Lott. How can you not love Ronnie Lott? What's up, Eric? How you doing? Late to the PSPN Phil Sports Programming Network. Yes. The show started 90 minutes ago. I covered the Nakobe Dean injury. But we got onto a long conversation about kickers, mister, and then we got into a long conversation on tight ends. We barely covered the Sixers and Phillies today. See, I try to cover the Phillies and Sixers and Flyers. I try to cover it all. The conversation always goes back to football. Why? Because football sells. The Eagles are always number 1 in our hearts and in our minds. I try to show the other teams love. Yeah, personal favorites. It's not the best. It's the personal favorites. Ronnie Lott cutting a finger off to play football. I mean, it's sick. It's sick. Is there any player in the NFL today or in any professional sport today that would have the Ronnie Lott mindset? No, not at all. I don't like that we couldn't sit Dickerson or Cam out long enough to get healthy. Well, there's an argument to be made that you should do that now. Sit them all. But if you're sitting Landon and Cam now, you better sit Jalen as well. Jalen is by far the best safety ever. We're talking favorites, not best. And it was kind of phrased the question. You don't have to say Dawkins. Dawkins is clearly my favorite safety all time. No problem. And the best safety all time. But if you're going to take Dawkins' name out of the conversation, yeah. It's just a digit. Sixers will get all the love they want after the Super Bowl parade in February. That is fair, and that is true. After the Super Bowl parade, everybody else can get talked about. Pierre-Paul lost a finger by messing with fireworks. He did. LeBron James would cut his finger off if needed to. I doubt that. I doubt that. No one said Sean Taylor Jr. was fantastic. Sucks his career got ended. Absolutely, yeah. That's true. Absolutely. And that's fair. Yeah. The Sean Taylor story in general is just a tragic story. So it is what it is. All right, I don't think we're going late into overtime. Oh, was it sarcasm, your LeBron comment? Oh, my bad. I missed the sarcasm in it. It was so not funny because, it was so not possibly be true that the sarcasm kind of got a little overlooked there. There's some LeBron lovers out there that you just can't say anything bad about. But I got to wrap this up. I got to go take a nice hot shower, get the steam to clear out my sinuses a little bit more. Got to figure out what else to do here today. Whether I should just lay on the couch another day, try to go out and DoorDash and make some money. I don't know. Thank you. I'm going to rest up the best I can. I got a lot on the plate this week. We're having people over for Christmas. Got to get the house ready. We leave Monday morning for Orlando for our yearly trip to Florida. We won't have a show on Monday while I'm in Florida because I'll be traveling that day. But we'll be still doing shows from Orlando next week. My nephew's telling me to make sure I bring my whole setup so Connor can come on the show. I do. We got still a few people. I want to throw this out there. I got to talk about my buddy Connor, my nephew. He's 9. He'll be 10 on New Year's Eve, okay? I went to his basketball game on Saturday. Elementary school basketball, right? And my buddy here, his team's not that great, right? And it's the first year stepping up to a bigger level of competition. And Connor takes basketball so seriously. I mean, Connor would love to be a basketball player one day. And that poor kid, they had a 15-7 lead in the third quarter. Obviously, little kids. Scores go down. They're not high-scoring games, right? They lost 22-21. So they blew a big lead, lost it. Connor's clearly one of the 2 best players on his team, right? But you got to play everybody, so you can't play the full 32 minutes. They're four 8-quarter minutes. That's these games. Clock does not stop when the ball goes out of bounds. It only stops on penalties and timeouts, or fouls and timeouts. So anyway, Connor, his team lost by 1 point. But he had a chance to tie it with 2 free throws at the end of the game. Mind you, he had like 7 or 8 points, bunch of rebounds, steals, assists in this game, literally doing everything for his team. But he's literally kicking himself in the ass for missing that field goal or free throw. Literally kicking himself in the ass. He got called for a foul late in the game, bogus foul. And everybody said on both teams that it shouldn't have been called because officials aren't just bad in the pros, they're bad in the little leagues too. And he got called for a foul that resulted in 2 free throws, and then he missed 1 or 2 free throws to win the game. And all he did was, dude, I felt so bad for him. And I didn't have words. Like, I'm his uncle. I'm his favorite uncle. I'm always there to hype him up. I'm always there to give him words of encouragement. I mean, I had nothing to say for him because, man, anything I say, I took one last night, honestly. And it did help me sleep really well. Oh, man, you played great defense. You made shots. You did good, man. You set great screens. And all he wanted to do was well, they don't use the screens when they set them. Man, I feel bad. I got videos on my phone from his game. The kid tries so hard. His team was just so bad. I feel so bad for him. But anyway, Connor will be on the show next week with me multiple times. He'll want to talk basketball next week, for sure. So bring your basketball knowledge next week because Connor will want to talk basketball, for sure. Anyway, guys, let's wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow with another show. Like, subscribe, share. Let's try to find a way to get to 1,000, even though it's so impossible to think that'll happen this year. But let's try. Everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Time to go get better. Go Birds. Bubbles up.